We're about to take this subscriber's old and outdated gaming PC from 2020.
Oh my gosh, yeah, look at it.
And transform it into a modern beast with the latest hardware and aesthetics to match.
Oh, wow.
But first, let's talk about how we got here. So when COVID hit, we were all stuck at home, and what did we all do? We built gaming PCs. But 5 years later, those builds are starting to show the rage. So today, we're going to give one of them a much needed upgrade for free, and spoiler alert, we got a bit carried away. Let's get into it.
So a little while ago, we put a post out on X asking if anyone had a 2020 era PC that desperately needed an upgrade, and we got a ton of responses, but one of the replies stood out. Mike reached out and told us about his son's PC. It's rocking a Ryzen 5600X and a GTX 1660 Super. Definitely solid for its time, but it's starting to show its age, so it's definitely time for an upgrade. Now, we got really lucky with this because they live fairly close by, which means we do not have to deal with shipping. Instead, we're gonna go and pick it up, bring it back here, and give it the upgrade it deserves. Let's go.
So with that, we headed off on a mini road trip to meet up with Mike and his son Colby. We ended up grabbing some lunch together. I had a steak, it was very good. And then we went to check out Colby's current setup, which actually looked super clean. Now we did remove the M.2 drives from his current PC just so that he could hold onto them. And then we got everything boxed up, ready to take home. It was a successful trip. Right then, so this is Colby's PC. It doesn't look too bad at all, actually. It is a little bit dusty, but then again, it has been 5 years. Now, Colby said that he's super into the Stormtrooper color scheme, and I think he did a great job. However, despite this being a great budget PC back in 2020, I'm curious to see how it performs in 2025, because obviously things have changed a little bit. So before we start upgrading this thing, we're going to go boot up a few games and see how it performs. Now, the GPU in this build was a great budget 1080p card back in the day, but it struggles with modern titles, especially if you crank up the settings. And with only 6GB of VRAM, it's getting to the point where it's right on the edge of what is viable nowadays. And things get even worse when you turn on ray tracing because, well, this thing doesn't have any dedicated RT cores, so it's pretty much unusable if you want to play with ray tracing on. And to top it all off, it doesn't really have any options in the way of hardware-based AI upscaling, so you can rule out being able to play a lot of modern titles at smooth frame rates without the help of some of that AI magic. Now, the CPU in this PC isn't terrible, even by today's standards, but newer CPUs with more cores and better efficiency are leaving it behind, especially in CPU-heavy games. And I mean, we're on DDR4 memory as well, which is pretty limited as far as speed goes, and well, all of this just results in a less than satisfactory gaming experience. But don't worry, we're gonna fix that.
But before we take a closer look at the upgrades, spring is here, so if you've been thinking about upgrading your PC, now might be the time. Intel actually sent us a special DIY upgrade bundle with a motherboard, CPU, and RAM for this build. And the best part is that you can pick up a similar bundle on Newegg with a discount and a game. All the links are down below in the description.
All right, so here's what's going into the build. We have a Z890 motherboard. This supports the latest Intel CPUs, has PCI 5.0 support, Wi-Fi 7, and high-speed storage options, making it a solid future-proof platform. Then we have the Intel Core Ultra 5 processor, 245K. This CPU has a hybrid architecture, more cores, enhanced AI capabilities, and just better performance across the board. 32GB of DDR5 RAM. Upgrading from DDR4 to DDR5 means higher speeds, better multitasking, and a slight bump to gaming performance. And then finally, the Intel Arc B580. This is Intel's latest flagship GPU. It is on the budget side, but Colby told me that he plays on a 1080p monitor, and this thing delivers fantastic ray tracing performance. It's got 12GB of VRAM and Intel XeSS2 support for AI enhanced upscaling. Now, compared to the old build, this is going to be a massive upgrade. We've got more cores, better graphics, twice the VRAM, faster memory, and improved efficiency, all while still being able to use the same 650 watt PSU.
Now, the case is technically fine. It doesn't need to be upgraded, but we kind of felt like Colby would want something fresh, and we really wanted to find him something cool.
Now, we got super lucky because we found a really awesome case from Lian Li. It has this super nice panoramic curved glass, which should be great for showing off the internals. And we also picked up some Lian Li Infinity fans to really spice up the aesthetic because Colby likes his RGB. Now, the existing AIO is still fine. It is a 240mm, but Intel's new chips are very efficient. However, because this thing's been running for 5 years, we don't know how much longer that pump is going to last, so we decided to pick up a new 360mm AIO, which is going to look very nice. This is going to give us even more thermal headroom. And then for the aesthetic side, obviously Colby said he still really likes the Stormtrooper look, so we're going to try and stick with that. We've got mostly black components going into this lovely white case, and yeah, I'm super excited to see how it turns out. With that said, let's get to work. Alright, so the PC is complete. Let us know what you guys think of it down below in the comments. I think it turned out fantastic. I know there's probably some of you that thought that the old PC looked great, but I mean, you gotta admit, this one's on another level. I love the case. We actually only paid 120 bucks for it. What do you think, Nay? Pretty good?
Boy. I am so excited for him to get this case. The moment we saw this in the store, we're like, yep, that's the one. And then the custom decals that we did just make it pop. I think it looks awesome. I might get this case for my own setup, honestly, and do something similar.
With the newly upgraded system complete, it's time to see just how much of a difference all of this makes. Right away, the most noticeable thing is just how much smoother everything feels when playing at high settings. Honestly, for a $250 GPU, this B580 is a beast, especially if, like Colby, you mainly play at 1080p. It actually makes ray tracing viable now as well, something that the old build couldn't even dream of. The extra VRAM makes a difference too. 12 gigabytes versus the old 6 gigabytes means we're not going to run into any texture streaming issues in newer games. And then there's Intel XeSS. This AI-based upscaling gives us a nice FPS boost in supported games and also gives us access to frame generation as well, making more graphically demanding titles way more playable. And then on the CPU side, the Core Ultra 5 helps with smoother performance by reducing stutters and improving 1% lows in CPU heavy games. And while RAM doesn't make a huge difference in gaming, DDR5 will help with multitasking and productivity workloads, and just generally it makes things a bit more snappy. I think all that's left is to go and take this PC and give it to Colby.
3, 2, 1.
Holy That's cool. That is sick. Wow. Oh my god.
Look inside. You said you like the RGB, so we did
I
it all.
do like RGB. Yes.
We also included a chair for you. Because we saw your chair and I was like, you know what, we have an extra one. This is a really good chair.
And it has a footrest.
It has a footrest that comes out.
You don't have to put them up there anymore.
What do you think? You like it?
It's crazy.
Well, I think it's safe to say Colby likes his new PC. Mission accomplished. Now, if you're thinking about upgrading your own PC, don't forget to check out the Intel upgrade bundles on Newegg, links in the description. Once again, shout out to Intel for sponsoring this one, and drop your PC specs in the comments down below. Let's see who has the oldest setup, because maybe we'll upgrade yours next. We'll see you in the next one.